Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction. We are checking out one of my favorite solo artists on this channel, one of the most artistic ones, and someone who made their solo comeback yesterday. We're talking about TAEMIN, who released a music video for Guilty. Now, before getting into the actual music video, I do want to touch on the backstory. TAEMIN shared in an interview with a magazine called Luxury that the mini album itself was inspired by a 1957 book, L'Erotisme. I butchered the name, but it's a book by a French philosopher, George Bataille. Probably butchered the name as well. But TAEMIN talked about how, looking at TAEMIN as an artist, I felt that it was time to write another chapter. It's an album you can enjoy without getting into the previous chapters. TAEMIN also added that I wanted to talk about certain emotions, such as the moments where we end up tolerating something that we previously thought of as unacceptable, and the feelings humans experience during those times. It'll be an album where I walk on a tightrope to see how far I can go. Guilty marks TAEMIN's first solo release since completing his military enlistment earlier this April. Obviously, since then, SHINee also returned with Hard, which was absolutely incredible. We checked out Hard, we checked out Juice, and I was really blown away by that. So this is going to be my final reaction for the day. There has been, like, I want to say 6 to 7, maybe 8 music videos that I checked out today, and this is going to be the final one, and I'm very excited about this one, even though I might seem a little bit tired or something. Please do not be fooled. I cannot be more excited, and I wanted to save TAEMIN because this is the most recent comeback that I'm checking out today, so I didn't want to release it before checking out something that was released 2 weeks ago. So I wanted to do everything more or less in order. So without further ado, Guilty by TAEMIN. Let's go. I love the orchestra.
Just a little more, that's all it takes. 널 망치고서 throw it all away. 나를 주는 모든 걸 가져가.
Wait, so he's looking at what looks like memories? So we have TAEMIN basically walk into various rooms. One of the rooms represents what I guess is childhood because the visuals are very warm. So it's like something potentially even positive, as there's like a lot of smiling happening as we see TAEMIN. But there was another room that showed TAEMIN, I believe, or someone that looks like TAEMIN, and a woman. And the visuals are very blue and almost like on the verge of kind of like depressing. It almost kind of like reminds me of like Requiem for a Dream in a way. Which is, so TAEMIN is like walking into like this hall filled with rooms where the lights are flickering in and out. It's almost like a very bad place that is almost like a mixture of things, good and bad. Let's check that.
Just a little more, that's all it takes. 널 망치고서 throw it all away.
Oh, I love this. Oh my god. Taemin is about to go off completely. Holy shit. The fact that it transitioned from the hands consuming him to him performing, but it looked like he's fighting off. Like the dancing looked like he's fighting off like demons or thoughts in his head. Oh, damn. The gun to the... Oh. Whoa. Oh my... Holy shit. Oh, that's childhood. Holy shit. Does the shirt say Liberty? Holy shit. That was incredible. Like, there was a moment where we see two dancers, a female and a male dancer, almost like the male dancer is like crawling on two hands, almost like a handstand, coming to her, trying to, almost like a snake, kind of like in Adam and Eve, I guess. But then the woman is the one who comes at him too. So it's almost like a battle of like desires, and like there's a battle of like innocence and being innocent and being guilty, and like the, much like Taemin said in that interview, walking that tightrope and see how far I can go. And there's also like a really amazing touch in the choreography where Taemin, they managed to take a visual that if it was more poppy, it would just be like a normal. But because the song is just so incredibly addicting, and there's something very, very sensual and almost like desperate and, no pun intended, guilty. Like the hand in the shirt almost looks provocative, even though it's probably one of the least provocative things that we see nowadays in music videos. But they managed to take that visual, because you have you have male dancers and female dancers do it, and yet with the actual production of the music, Taemin's vocals, which are, he always writes like this line of like sensuality and femininity and masculinity, not just with his moves, but with his vocals as well. When he goes high, when he goes berserk, when he speeds it up, it's really amazing how the tone of the actual music changes these visuals so drastically. So looking up a couple of quotes on the French philosopher that Taemin focuses, took inspiration from in regards to the album. I actually found one quote that was kind of interesting to me in regards to the music video. He said, "Pleasure only starts once the worm has got into the fruit. To become delightful, happiness must be tainted with poison." I feel like this quote kind of like symbolizes this music video at least a little bit, because he literally is talking about a poison apple in the beginning of the music video. Taemin sinking, being in danger, wanting to basically take a bite from the apple, and not being able to tell love from pain, because we see Taemin literally go into two separate rooms. One room shows a couple. I'm guessing that's Taemin with someone. I don't know who that represents. I thought that, I don't know what it represents, to be honest, because at first I assumed that maybe it was like a mother figure, but they seem to be like the same age, or the woman doesn't seem to be like older or taller than whoever, I guess, is playing Taemin in that moment. But then he enters another room that is very warm. Like literally, the two rooms could not be different. One room represents sadness and depression with the color grading of like blue, very deep blue. The other room represents warmth, as we see kids being happy, but yet Taemin, the child version of him, looks at Taemin, the adult, and it's almost like there's no separation between what makes me love and what makes me ache. Like pain and love are emotions that I cannot differentiate in a way. So that's kind of what it feels like. A little bit as Taemin goes in to fight the demons in a way, as all of the hands kind of like start consuming him. It's almost like the hands represent all of the different emotions that he's going through. Like the entire battle and all of the dancers represent the mind of Taemin in a way. And he also says, in that vague border between good and bad, my judgment in the final moment, that is what kind of like made me who I am. As he almost like does the motion of almost like snapping the neck, but he also does almost like this pose that I'm pretty sure that we saw in Advice, as he's accepting his wreckage towards the end of the music video. And I think that it's almost like has become a bit of an iconic pose for Taemin specifically, but also kind of like, Jesus Christ and whatnot potentially too. And it's almost like the snapping of the neck and kind of like accepting the temptation that comes from underneath, much like a fucking worm that gets inside the apple from the inside of the shirt. That could be pretty cool. That is, I'm not sure if that made any sense, but there's so much sensuality without. There's like, it's provocative without being provocative. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the visuals all by themselves, if you take them at face value without music, without anything, they don't seem to be that, extreme. But then pair it with the actual song itself and with the vibe, Taemin's vocals and the production, and like the layering of the vocals is also another thing that is almost like kind of like battling yourself in a way. And also like the dancers like controlling him as they almost like put his hand almost like a gun to his chin was also really, really interesting. It's almost like the emotions playing him as he snapped the neck. He's like sacrificed himself for this love, which is a crime. And then he's burning towards the end of the music video, like all of the wreckage and like the junkyard and all that kind of stuff. Everything is burning. It's also a really interesting touch. It's almost like Taemin is kind of like battling himself, his sexuality. Like there's holy shit, I just noticed like there's so many keys around Taemin in that shot. It's almost like Taemin himself is like representing a god in this one, especially with the headdress and whatnot. It's almost like his own god. And I'm not sure. Like, and the burning and everything, and everybody's almost like worshiping him. It's like Taemin represents the god himself. And like that shot of like the dancer like coming up to the female dancer on his hands, it's also like something that is sneaking up on you, almost like crawling towards you. That was a really interesting shot. And like the pile of of bodies, which is representing the line that he just said, hundreds of lies too, like all of these different, like literally, I don't think I've ever seen like dancers be represented as actual metaphors as much as in this music video. Like it's absolutely incredible. And then we see the shot of Temin, almost like an adult Temin, but in his school uniform, almost like going back to the days of being innocent, being able to separate good from bad potentially. He's got the inhaler on too, surrounded by mostly kids and like looking for an adult to help him, almost like looking for a god or looking for a figure that will help him reach the light. But then it's almost like he can't get an answer, so much so that he scratches his skin beyond the flesh, which shows a lot of like desperation and insanity as well, in my opinion, at the very least. And then the fucking fire and everything, like the burning of everything, which is like burning desires, burning, being consumed by love, which is a crime that is killing me. And like I guess like sex is a huge factor of or like, I mean, the book is called erotism, if I'm not mistaken. Again, that the music video or the album in general was inspired by. So the sensuality and sexuality is definitely a big factor, and the fire represents that a lot in this one. And it's just like a battle of wills and desires within Temin, because at the end he's all alone. At the end of the music video, there's no people, there's no dancers. It's all his emotions, his feelings, and his own battle and what makes him guilty. I don't know what to say, honestly. If you want to let me know if you are actually familiar with the book by the French philosopher and you want to shed more light on this music video, feel free to do so. I'm going into this fairly blind. I haven't read the book. After checking out the music video between this reaction, I checked out like a summary of the book and like that quote that I mentioned by the philosopher. Other than that, I can't really dive so far deep into it, but it is kind of like a story of battling desires and not being able to separate good from bad, pain from love, as was kind of like the intro of this music video with the two rooms that he enters, and like the childhood shot and like the scratching the skin to beyond the flesh, was also a very, very, very symbolic shot, in my opinion. Almost like you cannot stop doing that, even though it's literally killing you. I thought that this was absolutely incredible, and musically, I think that this is potentially my favorite song by Temin. I was blown away by the production, like the orchestral aspect of the song was incredible, and I was just blown away. His vocals were incredible, like his highs, his expression of sensuality within the vocals is just incredible. Like his voice is so incredibly soothing and addicting, and like the voice itself and the layering in the song was absolutely insane. I don't know what else to say. This music video was a work of art. And if I made any sense, let me know in the comment section. If you want to add something, feel free to do so in the comment section down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and are having a wonderful day. Be well and be safe wherever you are, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.